are heavy
with sins untold,
and
cares and shares.
Our lives are burdened
With doubts
and voice
and fears
and fears unmentioned.
God,
who is greater than our hearts,
who's greater than our hearts,
deeper than our minds,
deeper than our minds,
always alive,
always alive,
always longing for our response.
always longing for our response.
May we stretch out our hands
May we stretch out our hands
and surrender,
and surrender,
walking with you
walking with you
through the wilderness,
to find freedom
in following Christ alone.
in following Christ alone.
May we willingly walk
May we willingly walk
with Jesus,
with Jesus,
the one who carries our
the one who carries our
burdens
burdens
to the cross,
to the cross,
where fear is transformed into love,
and the loneliness into community with you.
and loneliness into community with you.
Amen.
Amen.
In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit.
Amen.
Yes, that's the time that was Saturday. I promised to, after finishing the topic of Holy Spirit, I promised that today we shall share the topic of, you can say evil spirit, you can say the devil, you can say Satan. There are so many words, but let us call it the opposite of the Holy Spirit. I know if I ask you questions, it can take long for someone to be difficult to answer. But some people pretend that Satan is not big, that they cannot even fall victim of Satan once they are with Jesus. That is what is called pride. If you can hear this, which is even printed out, that Satan is real, just under the surface of our everyday interactions, hiding in the shadows, clouded in the mystery and the confusion. The devil works to undermine what God is doing in us and through us. That is just a small eye-opener for us to be alert. Don't think by praying the rosary you are safe from Satan. Don't think by attending Mass, Satan will fear you. That one is holy. Don't think by receiving all the sacrament, making pilgrimages, sleeping in the church, translate. No. Satan is there. How do we prove this? We look at the people whom we even know we are very sure that they are independent, but they got attacks of Satan. Because some people even go to the extent of seeing some social media videos, photos, and the newspapers, pictures are dead. Now the topic starts. Even a bishop, even a priest can do this. then I don't need even to attend even his mass or what. No, let's now look at a few examples. Job never committed any sin. You know the book of Job in the Old Testament. But God permitted Satan to tempt Job. He permitted him. So now again you start understanding our spiritual life. Satan will attack the person who is coming closer to God or who is the closest to God. Because it is a war, it is a battle. He wants to snatch the good ones. The other bad ones, he doesn't have any problem with them. They are already in his party, in his bus. They call it a bad worker. So how can we get Satan to tempt to them when they are already, actually they are the ones who helped him to bring down the other people who are almost entering heaven. Now, we are not going to be scared. Never. Because the story of Job is very clear. Most of you know it, you can go back and read it. And if you have watched even Nigerian films where you find the film beginning to be with evil spirit, in the end it is the Holy Spirit which wins. So we are going to come here to instill fear that if Satan can even tempt Job, even the Pope gets tempted, but the end is what we must learn from. So he tempted Job, but he never succeeded. Our Pope, St. John Paul II, in 1981, an assassin with his pistol shot at the Pope. And the Pope, we are told, is guarded by St. Michael, the Archangel. But Satan shot him. This is Satan's work. Because Satan's agenda is to steal, destroy, and kill. He shot the Pope. The Pope was supposed to have died. But when that man called Agata, a Turkish man, when he showed when the Pope is passing, even when we here, welcoming the Pope Francis, even that same job, people really want to take photos to remember it is a historical moment. So when they showed him, people were already taking photos, and the photo which was developed, even I saw it, it was hanging there with Radio Maria. The bullet was diverted by the hand of Mother Mary, and Mother Mary's picture appears there very, very, very clear. So you can see the battle between Satan and God. Mother Mary protected our Pope, and they took him to the hospital, they removed the bullet, and he took that bullet to Fatima. I saw it, and went and inserted it in that crown. When you see the photo of Our Lady of Fatima with the crown, so there is now a bullet. It was that bullet of that man that Satan said he put it there to thank Mother Mary for having saved his life. If it was any other person and he has survived, you kill the one who wanted to kill you, by ordinary life. He went to the cell. Even that photograph you have seen it when he with that man who has been now arrested and sentenced to 2 years. That evil man told the Pope that I don't know how I missed you, because I've never missed in my profession. He was being hired to kill people, and they were very sure he had finished our work. So we cannot get to worry. It is that trust we lose in the protection of Jesus which can make us be finished by Satan. He can do anything around you, but he's wasting his time. So the Pope forgave him, but that was spiritual forgiveness. The law of the land must take its action. Then the great saint, you know, Saint Padre Pio, stigmatist, carried even the words of Jesus. All this introduction I'm making is to put us in a position to know that if the devil can go into a holy person carrying the words of Jesus, how safe are we, you and me? Then you also go back and read the temptation of Jesus himself. Jesus is God. He wouldn't have allowed Satan even to talk to him. What do you want from me? Get away from me. No. He was tempted 3 times. Jesus. But with Padre Pio, the 50 years he suffered with the bleeding of this stigmata, the wounds of Jesus, Satan was on him every day. Every day they come here. You see now the fathers there have got their rooms up there where they sleep. Now if the other Father Gilson here, Father Mike is breathing at night, they will wake up and say, Father, what is going on? So that's what was happening with Padre Pio. Pio, what is it? Then he starts cleaning the blood. Now he doesn't open the door. Then he opens nothing. The devil was all the time throwing him down. You can even wonder, say, what is kind of talking now? Does it mean that we should not be closer to God so that we are safe from the attacks of Satan? No, we should only be prepared for the attacks. That's what I have to end with, that we should be prepared for the attacks of Satan, the closer we come to God. A priest, with all those prayers he makes, is the one giving us Jesus. So Padre Pio, one time people were there waiting for him, for the Mass. So we are going to wait for Mass. He was in the sacristy. The devil came. Strangled Padre Pio there in the sacristy. Down. He was crying now because each of us, immediately we are born, we are allocated by God a guardian angel. So he was invoking the guardian angel. When he was down, being throttled by the devil, the guardian angel came and was circling just up, watching Padre Pio being strangled by the devil. Hey, but the guardian angel is supposed to defend us. Yeah. But he didn't kill him. Because his target is to kill the end. His plan is to kill. He did not kill him. The guardian angel rescued him, and he came and made the Mass. That is Padre Pio, who could even read the hearts of the people coming for confession. The list is endless. I cannot come here to start giving you all of those, even the ones I know, are just a few out of the many. Going for the new ones, like now Padre Pio, St. John Paul II. Another one was John Mary Vianney. The devil every day for 33 years. I don't understand. Sometimes I even fear to preach such things because he's a priest. But now, at least the devil should give up. No. We are going to see the devil does not give up. We are given the strategies, but still he does not give up. After 33 years, that is when he left behind. So when I say he does not give up, no, even again, God's plan, there comes a time, and the greatest moment where the devil wants to snatch that whole person is when you are dying. That moment is so critical because if you die in his hands, in Satan's hands, then you go, he has succeeded in taking you to his kingdom, that is hell. That is why at the time somebody is almost dying and then you don't call the priest to give the last sacraments and he's still in his senses, and even himself, he cannot, if he doesn't make the confession, when he is still with the senses, and then he prefers to bring the witch doctors, but the devil rejoices. Because he has made a choice, when he is dying, when he is even having the reason. So, what next? We can talk and talk, but we should know that the strategy he has, Jesus already told us from the Bible, and the church continues to tell us. And in ordinary warfare, an army or you don't attack an enemy without knowing the strength, the plans, the strategy, the ammunitions he has. Even yesterday, this morning, my God came and told me that at night, where he got in my tenants, the thief came over the wall, behind the wall, and they were in a group, but one jumped first. Then he said that I wouldn't have even known, but a cat was in the other rubbish container, and so the cat ran this side. I said, who is chasing the cat? I said that was God's plan. When he saw the thief, he said, I bought a big stone and I hit him. He jumped back and ran away. So the thief did not know the defense here. He thought maybe this man is sleeping. So that analogy is for us with the enemy. Our enemy number one, forget about you are rivals and all those. No, enemy number one is the devil. So we must know the enemy's plans. And when you know the enemy's plans, that's when you can also be ready for his assaults. Because his plans may be through even we get them when we go for confession. When you make a real confession, you remember Father Ahmad telling us how we falsify the confession and go around. But if you tell the real confession, how you fell in that sin, you make it very easy for the priest to forgive you and to help you in the future. Why? Because now the priest would have known that, oh, Satan knows your wickedness through drinking. Don't go to those drinking places again, get your wine and drink it at home. You see, the devil has the strategy. He said, let me wait for him when he comes to the door, and I will not even attack him until he has taken about 5 bottles. Hey, that's when you see the miniskirts coming around you and you find yourself already committing the sin. So we must know the enemy's plans. And Christ has shown us his plans. When you read the Bible, he has shown us his plans. All of the works, all the teachings, the Christ has shown us his plans. Now, the unfortunate part of our being as human beings, I call it unfortunate, because the angels are not human beings. We have 2 natures in our life. 2. One nature, and even that's how we are taught about Jesus himself when he became a human being. He was 100% human and 100% God. Now that's where we fall short of the other percentage of the divine. So, one nature is with God, and the other nature is with evil. You can say good and evil. We can now call those ones forces in us, struggling in us. A good one and the evil one. Or the reason and the passion. The passion you have, it can be for sex, for money, they are there in us. That's why you find our priests making vows like poverty. But because now that one can, when they have the riches can increase their passion in them, and then celibacy. They know that it might overwhelm them. That's why they make those vows. So you can call it reason and a passion. Or to ground everything, you say Christ and Satan. We are exposed. Because we are made in God's image, so we are Christ-like. But then, since sin came in the world, Satan's nature is also in us. Unfortunately, this enemy is not the way we fight these battles. Like now, Russia and Ukraine, they see each other face to face. Or through some binoculars or what, we don't see Satan. Now, with this Satan, we are fighting an invisible enemy. We don't see Satan. Now, if we can't see Satan face to face, it does not mean that we should rush to deny his existence. Because when we deny his existence, then we can as well deny the existence of God. Because we don't see God face to face. We are only told that when we go to heaven, that's when we shall see God face to face. Then how does Satan come to attack us when we don't see him face to face? Yeah, he has angels, fellow human beings. Through our friends, our enemies on this earth, through the princes, through the sexual attractions, he is in those ones. since we don't see him face to face. But my book is still there in the bookshop. I have given him more than, there are about 10 names. And one of the names is a liar. Satan is a liar. Or even as a liar, he doesn't give up because he promises a lot and delivers none. That's why in our vernacular, about these witch doctors in the villages there, their name is that they are, somebody has gone to the liar. They say in the vernacular, in English, it doesn't sound so good. I mean, it's so proper, the description. But he's a liar. Now he uses the good people, the talented persons. He uses our friends, our neighbors, or any human being to bring us down. But I have told you that it is not visible. So how does he use them? That's where the trick now comes. That's why I gave the title of that book, Tricks and Snares of Satan. For you will be listening to a person, you don't know that he is talking under the influence, the instruction of the devil that in him. Now you believe in him and you go and commit the sin. You go and commit the sin, whether breaking into the bank to steal money or going to kill, I don't know, the neighbor. He uses the people and the things. So Satan turns easy things as a pleasurable trap. What Satan does is not so ugly. Satan, you can see when they are showing his blood with the horns or what. No, the things which he traps us with are pressure. Who doesn't enjoy drinking the wine and tea? He laughs by himself. He even urinates in his trousers. He is enjoying, he is happy. Actually, when he is sober, he is very sad. But when he has a drunk, who doesn't enjoy sex if even those who have made vows are falling in that trap of the sex? It is just the machinations of Satan. And then, should we stop drinking? Should we stop having sex? Who says we should stop having sex? And yet, that is how production is supposed to be there. God said, go in the world, produce and fill the world. So there, now we get to understand that all of those things which Satan is taking advantage of, St. Paul has given us this verse here, 1 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 31. That whatever we do, we should do it for the glory of God. If it is drinking, drink it for the glory of God. If it is eating, eat it for the glory of God. If it is sex, let it be for the glory of God. Let's hear this short one here. What does he tell us? That what Satan never tells us, God tells us. Original sin has left our human nature wounded and wicked. We were supposed to be equal to angels, but that original sin, even if it is removed in baptism, it leaves Hence, it is difficult at times to keep a healthy control over our passions. You see that? We are human beings, and even when we commit these sins, that's how we defend ourselves that after all, it is the human nature. A woman commits adultery when the husband is in London, a pilot there for a full year, he hasn't come, she has committed adultery. They say it is the human nature. The man was not there, so she was forced, the body was demanding. That's what he is telling us, that it is difficult to keep a healthy control over the passions. But with grace, this is not impossible. Since it is a warfare, we have to keep asking for the grace of God to overcome those passions. In fact, it is a command. Yes, the sex drives are natural. Somebody went and asked a sister in the comment, that is, sister, do you also get temptations? The sister gave a very good example. It is in my book, or my lady in the book. It's not that I had it. The sister said, answered him, that can you stop birds flying over the trees in the, like now, the trees were there in the open. He said, can you stop those birds flying over the trees? He said, no. He said, it is the same thing. You cannot stop the temptations because they are sisters or nuns. But you can stop those birds from making the nests on the trees. Whenever they make the nets, try to make the nets, you throw the stones, they will completely disappear. The same thing with the temptations. If they want to remain holy as nuns, they must not allow those temptations to build the nests in them. Otherwise, now they come to settle completely in them. So that's why he's saying that yes, the sexy drives are natural. They are wonderful powers implanted in man to be used within the blessed protection and the mutually exclusive love of marriage. And when properly used and handled and channeled, they do enrich man's life with both pleasure and happiness. Outside of marriage, their use brings frustration. You see that? I'm sure you read the newspapers. Now that the social media is there, the men who are beaten and killed because of going with the other people's wives have got 5 wives at home. And you now see, he has 5 wives, that man has 5 wives. How could he be killed because of another man's wife? Yes, that's what he is meaning that outside. You see that the strategy of the devil, the more passion you have, the easier for him to manipulate. So he tells us, the author tells us that God tells us more. What? Because of what is natural to human beings, purity requires that we must avoid situations that we know will lead to sin. Everything, you know what I'm talking about. So to lead us to see that will tempt and tease the sexual appetites, stimulate the emotions, and set the passions aflame, leading only bitter results, remorse, loss of respect, and mortal sin. See, very advisable to read such books is called Christ Once More. That's the title, and you get really enlightened about our spiritual warfare. We are in a spiritual warfare. So I have some few verses we can share, and then we know what to do and what not to do. One, already read the title fire. I read part of it, but the confirmation is that angels, demons, spiritual warfare, they all exist. Demons, angels, and spiritual warfare. They all exist, but we don't have to live in fear of the supernatural. God has given us a powerful weapon against temptation and accusation. He has given us His word, the Bible, to remind us who He is, who we are, and what is true. That's why Jesus said, I am the truth. I have come to testify the truth. I am the truth. Ephesians chapter 6, verse 10 to 11. Because we cannot be talking about Satan without at least getting the word of God as our weapon. Even when you go for counseling, the priest will give you the word of God to go and recite. That is the weapon. So this one, Ephesians chapter 6, verse 10 to 11, says, finally, be strong in the Lord and in His mighty power. Put on the full armor of God, so that you can take your stand against the devil's schemes. The armor is that gear you put on, and when you are going to the battlefield, you find soldiers with helmets, boots, and things around them, gun. So ours is the spiritual armor. We have sacramentals, we have the Eucharist, we have the novenas, we have all of those are weapons. But properly to use it. Because even in a soldier who does not cover his gun properly, the bullet will shoot him. Or the backfire, that will kill him. Likewise, if you have a rosary and it is not even in place, the devil will make that rosary. Make you just fail to fight him, he will just confuse you because the rosary is not blessed. You even don't know how to pray it, even you don't know sacraments, even when you come for the mass, you don't receive Holy Communion, you don't even understand, but you say you have been in the mass, but you are like that soldier who doesn't know how to use the weapon he is carrying. Number, the following one is 2 Thessalonians chapter 3, verse 3. But the Lord is faithful, and He will strengthen you and protect you from the evil one. You see that? The saints were being attacked by the devil. But they knew the devil is not stronger than Jesus. So they were calling upon Jesus. Even when they were dying, when the Uganda matters, when St. Lawrence was being roasted, he was just telling them, this side is ready now, turn me and roast this side. What is that? It is Jesus, the Holy Spirit. You can see even when they were in prison, those of Paul and Silas, they were singing and praising the Lord in the prison. So the word of God is now the new weapon telling us. 2 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 4 to 5. The weapons we fight with are not the weapons of the world. On the contrary, they have divine power to demolish strongholds. We demolish arguments and every pretension that sets itself up against the knowledge of God. And we take captive every thought to make it obedient to Christ. And it is what I have just talked about. That was 2 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 4 to 5. But in 2 Thessalonians chapter 3, verse 3, says, but the Lord is faithful and he will strengthen you and protect you from the evil one. Okay, we have finished those one. Then we go to this 1 Peter chapter 5, verse 8 to 9. Be alert and of sober mind. Your enemy, the devil, prowls around like a roaring lion looking for someone to devour. Resist him, standing firm in the faith, because you know that the family of believers throughout the world is undergoing the same kind of sufferings. So, these few verses we are sharing tonight are just the tip of the iceberg. Otherwise, the armor, that is where they keep the weapons for the soldiers in the barracks. It's called the armor. The armor is this one. So you go and get a pistol from there. You go and get the RPG from there. You go and get those line mines from there. So this is just the examples of the weapons. But otherwise, this is the armor for fighting the enemy, the greatest enemy we have in the world. Up to the end, we fight up to the end. No retreat, no surrender. It does not mean that when you die fighting, you are going to hell because he has won. No, it means actually, Jesus has harvested you. You have died in his hands because you died with his weapon. Then James chapter 4, verse 7. He said, submit yourselves then to God. Resist the devil, and he will flee from you. These are instructions. In my book, Tricks and Snares of Satan, I gave the acronym of the Bible. Basically, instructions before leaving the earth. Yeah, Bible, B-I-L. These are instructions for us to be there, because the world is now the battlefield. We have been told in 1 Peter chapter 5, verse 8, that the devil is here. That is the enemy in the world. When he was chased from heaven, he was chased with all his powers. That's why he used the powers on Job. But God told him that you can do anything but don't kill him. So the devil kills, because in John chapter 10 we are told that he comes to steal, to destroy, and to kill. The devil kills. He kills your soul. But not when you are under the protection of God. Because he said, do not fear. Jesus said, do not fear. I've already conquered the world. I am with you. He said it in Matthew chapter 20, verse 20. I am with you until the end of age. So when we give up, when we have got all this armor with us, and we study, it is called in psychology, bargaining, you find that you are not getting healed, you bring the witch doctor. Then again you come for counseling, and then you come and receive Holy Communion when you have committed that immortal sin. You have lost. You have lost. You are supposed just to rely on Him only until death. Because He has even told us in 1 Peter chapter 5, verse 8 to 9 that there are other believers throughout the world who are undergoing the same kind of sufferings. Now, who are you to say that you are the only one who has cancer, and yet people who don't even pray, they don't suffer? No, even the priests have got cancer. Our St. John Paul II, he told you about, he had about 5 diseases on him. There was a tumor, he had these Parkinson's, then they shot at him, then so many on him were poor. Then for you start going for witchcraft that Jesus has abandoned him. No, you are the one who has abandoned Jesus. Then we hear from Romans chapter 8, verses 37 to 39, that no, in all of these things we are more than conquerors through Him who loved us. For I am convinced that neither death, nor life, nor angels, nor demons, neither the present, nor the future, nor any powers, neither height, nor depth, nor anything else in all creation will be able to separate us from the love of God that is in Christ Jesus our Lord. What should He mention for a day? What should separate us? Is it nakedness? He has mentioned it, that's why some things I have to read verbatim. I have to, not to talk what I have read, but to read so that you hear and it sinks in the heart. Then in John 10:10, the thief comes only to steal and kill and destroy. I have come that they may have life and have it the full. The devil cannot give anything like Jesus to the full. No. The devil is just a liar. Gambling only. But Jesus gives the life and life to the full. And what is that full? Which is beyond what we even have in the eternal life. He gives us this earthly life, but the full life starts after the grave. After the grave, we are here on probation, working for the full life, which has no end. Eternal happiness, from perishable to imperishable, from mortality to immortality, and that is to the full life. Then Colossians chapter 1, verse 13 to 14. For He has rescued us from the dominion of darkness, and brought us into the kingdom of the Son He loves, in whom we have redemption, the forgiveness of sins. Then in John chapter 16, verse 33. I, that is Jesus, have told you these things so that in me you may have peace. In this world you will have trouble, but take heart, I have overcome the world. I talked here at the time about peace. Everyone who fights in the revolution said, I'm fighting for peace. But I told you that when Moses took over in 79, Dr. Obati was gunned down in Israel, Dr. Barrow was gunned down, Mr. and the head of the Baha'i in the whole Africa, with his wife, his children, were gunned down. Is that the peace they brought from Tanzania? To change the killer and do the worst than the other killer who has gone? It is only Jesus who can give peace. Because He gives the peace in full. But for us, we look for peace in money. We look for peace in marriage. We look for peace in jobs. yafuna omulimu mu UN kati ali mu kintu avuga kuluga alina enyumba n'omubiri kati yazzayo mu buto. You see how the devil confuses us. This beautiful handsome flesh here is food for worms. Father Job told us that their headquarters are there, that the cemetery is just next there, that the worms are always looking at the British and saying, when is that food coming for us? It is our food. And yet he is here saying, hallelujah, hallelujah. The worms are waiting, they are hungry. Pray for the other life. This one is just useless life. Whether kings, whether what, just useless. Then the last one for today, 1 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 13. No temptation has overtaken you except what is common to mankind. And God is faithful. He will not let you be tempted beyond what you can bear. But when you are tempted, He will also provide a way so that you can endure it. When the temptation comes, the answer is Jesus. He will give the way how you can endure it. If the way you can endure it is not sin, then that means you are not with Jesus. So, where do we find these evil spirits? When Jesus was busy chasing them here, we find them in madness. Madness. Deaf mute. He was healing them. In prostitution. You don't think prostitutes are enjoying, they are demon possessed. In infirmities, paralytics, hunchbacks. This is why Jesus said, this daughter of Abraham has been in bondage of the devil for the last 18 years. And you said that it is wrong to deliver her on the Sabbath. So hunchback is a demon possession. Mental illness is demon possession. God does not will us to be in such a state. So the reason that the question can be, then how did it come? We can allow. That's why Jesus said when they called him for Lazarus, he said his illness is not going to end in death. It is in glory of God. Blindness, that is for the devil. Leprosy, epilepsy, these serial killers. One who was called at night, what is sentenced in Rosira there. He was from a rich family, but he wants to kill. He killed a Muzungu in the Pretoria Hotel, he killed in a and then the doctor told him that when they were doing their internship, they brought him in a cage, in a vehicle, for them to look at him and study him. He has become a study specimen for doctors. What was making him to kill? The devil possession. Sex-related evils, sex demons, stealing. These are devils. The sister of the lady queen who died in London, the sister, they are very rich billionaires. But she had that demon of stealing. When she enters a supermarket, she has the money to buy, but she picks the things, puts in the bag. But and yet they are monitoring the CCTV camera. So they are to give her an escort. Whenever she steals, the escort pays. You see that? The ones who are the ones stealing. When you see these people that they are corrupt, you have to pray for them. Now you say, how can a minister embezzle all those billions? No, it is here, and you they are possessed, and they are going to die miserable because all they are accumulated, they cannot go with it. How can a sister of a queen steal? Then when you have anger, the devil. Even ignorance. Ignorance from the devil. Those who fear the doors for the evil spirits to enter. How do we get these evil spirits? Customs. I can talk about mine because I'm born in Mjisu. When we get circumcised, we perform some customs which allow the devils to enter us. 6. Customs are doors, witchcraft, doors, unforgiveness, doors, lust, doors, laziness, the doors, and envy is the door. Inheritance, polygamy, circumcisions, and all